Good morning, everybody. It's Brett, your thankful carnivore. It's January the 7th, a Tuesday morning, and this is today's chilly Thankful Carnivore Report coming to you live in Northeast Florida. I hope you had a great weekend. It's Tuesday. You can check out all my other social media and the nonsense I have to say at spew at thankful.carnivore on Instagram. Thankful Carnivore, Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter, where the meat eating savages just run wild at Stickman Bleeding. That's STICKMAN Please remember that you can get a 30-minute coaching session, carnivore coaching session from meatrx.com for under 20 bucks. Listen, I want to talk to you all about something I've been thinking about with regards to happiness. And I've titled this Happiness versus Inflammation, because the longer I go on my carnivore journey, the longer I live without being inflamed, the happier I become. Are the two related? I think they may be. This is just an idea, a thought that I have. I think that it is entirely possible to be happy about certain aspects of our lives without actually being happy. I believe, based on my experience, that when I was inflamed and mentally ill, I could experience moments of happiness. I could be happy about certain specific things. I could be happy I was married to my wonderful wife. I could be happy when one of my kids did something well, brought home a good report card. But was I a happy person? No. No, I wasn't. I just wasn't. Didn't realize it at the time so much until after the depression made itself more clearly known. And then from then on, happiness, geez, that was just something that was dreamed about, read about, prayed for, but not anticipated. And, today's the 540th day I've been eating meat and drinking water. I have no inflammation that I'm aware of. One day, maybe somebody will pony up the money and I'll go get an inflammatory markers test done and share the information with everybody across my social media. Be happy to do it. But I have found that since I lost my inflammation, since I changed my way of eating, and woke up that first morning 10 days into it without joint pain for the first time as an adult. And I haven't had joint pain since, unless I have strained something at the gym, over exercised something. I don't wake up, true story. When I was a performing musician and playing 4 sets a night, the next morning when I would wake up, I would have to do this. I would have to bend these two fingers together to get the joints. Otherwise, I couldn't just bend it. I had inflammation. Now, I didn't think anything of it at the time. I just thought, geez, I'm in my 30s, 40s, early 50s, and, this is just one of the things. You gig, you play a lot. A lot of the ways I form chords and whatnot are not natural formations for the human hand. But I didn't think anything of it. But now to live completely inflammation free, to have full flexibility and no worries of any kind in that regard is truly wonderful. And I think that there's a direct tie-in between inflammation and a human being's ability to be happy. I mean, let's stop and think about it here before I get too windy with it. We know that inflammation can affect our thinking, our thought processes, Inflammation from outside our bodies can directly impact our brains. I mean, inflammation from outside the brain, I should say, can directly impact our brain. Sorry about that faux pas. I mean, and there's still so much we don't know. But if the, for me, when I was depressed, my crazy was, as I've described before, was my inability to accurately perceive my environment. Now, how can you be happy in that kind of situation? I don't think it's possible. I don't think it is. But you remove the inflammation, your perception, my perceptions improve dramatically. My thought processes are much more responsive. I'm seriously, genuinely a happy human being in ways I never imagined possible. What's missing is the inflammation. And I can even break it down or use the inflammation in terms of how our marriage was. When I was sick, our marriage was inflamed. There was tension in the air constantly. My wife, beloved wife, didn't know how I was going to react to anything at any time. And if I approached her to ask her about something, then she, you know, I was I was hard to live with. She was always forced to try to figure out what I really meant because I was nonsensical to a rational person a good bit of the time. And our marriage was inflamed because of it. And now that inflammation, the crazy is gone. And my wife's no longer an inflamed person. Thanks be to God. And I've talked about this before. We're not just on the same page. We're not even on the same paragraph. We're in the middle of the same sentence. And we've never been close to being this happy. Now, were we always happy we were married? Oh gosh, yes. I'd be dead 100 times over without her. I would have never survived my illness. I would not have. I just don't think I would have without her around. Because she gave me a reason to keep trying. But since she began eating meat and drinking water, all her inflammation's gone too. So we've got two happy individuals no longer inflamed in a wonderful marriage that's happy every day. It's a great thing. And I believe the absence of inflammation makes happiness possible. I mean, real all the time, all day long, kind of happy. I think that makes it possible. And in that case, I don't think we have to suffer. We just don't. That's if we could remove the inflammation from our lives, we just don't suffer. Things to think about today, my friends. Do the things you need to do to take care of you and maintain your health and your opportunity for happiness. Have a blessed day. Always remember, you've got something to be thankful for. We'll see you tomorrow.